Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios on Broad Street, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I'm Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
I'm Alex Williams with the Rome Floyd Chamber, and on the program today, we have Kelly Floyd from Suzuki Manufacturing in North America, Carla Maton, the Executive Director of Northwest Georgia America Red Cross, and from Visiting Nurse Health Systems, we have Taesha Ward and Candice Spivey.
Hello, all.
Hi.
Good
Hello.
morning.
How are we doing? Are we chipper this morning as we record this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everybody fired up and ready to be here, or are we being a little nervous?
No, I'm fired up.
I'm fired
I've had
up.
2 cups of coffee already.
There we go.
Okay, great. So we're properly caffeinated to
Yes.
our listeners out there. Well, thanks everybody so much for being here. So usually off the top, we try to go around and give everybody a minute or two, just kind of the general big picture vision of your organization. So ladies, let's start with you, Taesha and Candice. One of you can tell us a little bit about Visiting Nurse Health System.
Okay. Well, Visiting Nurse Health System has 3 divisions. We have home health, hospice, and community care services. The office here in Rome, Georgia, is a case management agency where we coordinate services for the elderly and disabled persons for them to stay in their homes versus going into the nursing home. So we have 2 programs that's mandated by the Department of Community Health, Community Care Services Program, and the SOURCE program. So we cover 12 surrounding counties, but our home office is here in Rome.
And what is your job title?
My job title is Elderly and Disabled Waiver Program Director.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
And Candice?
I am actually the program assistant.
Okay, that's easier for me to say.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not exactly sure what you do for a living, based on the description. Okay, we'll swing back around. Next stop, Carla, Northwest Georgia American Red Cross. Tell us about you guys.
All right. Well, the Red Cross has lots of services for Northwest Georgia, and that's the chapter that I cover. And so we're the northwest corner of Georgia, also 15 counties. So we probably have a lot of similar territory with you guys. But 3 major services that you'll see from the Red Cross. So we have our training services, which is all of the classes such as CPR or lifeguarding or babysitting, those types of classes you can take online or locally in your community. And then we have our disaster services. Those are, you may see us on TV at the large-scale disasters, but we're also here every day, and those most typically look like house fires. So our volunteers will go out and meet families affected by disaster and give them some assistance. And then we have our blood services. Blood services is where we collect our blood donations, and we host those every single month here in Rome and every day almost across the Northwest chapter. And I don't want to leave out our service to armed forces. So that's actually the 4th program that is one of our largest service deliveries, and that's where we support our military families, both locally and abroad.
Okay, nice overview. We'll circle back around. Next stop, Kelly Floyd with Suzuki Manufacturing over on Technology Parkway. Tell us about what it is you guys do.
Well, we are the ATV division of Suzuki. Suzuki being a worldwide name brand, but we're proud to call Rome home, as we're the only manufacturer in the world for the King Quad ATV. We manufacture a 400, a 500, and a 750 size ATV, and we ship all over the world. Primarily stays in the United States, but we go to Europe, we go to New Zealand, South America, just about every country you can think of we ship to.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So any of those ATVs anywhere in the world started right here off Technology Parkway.
If you see an ATV, a King Quad ATV that was manufactured 2002 or after, it was manufactured right here in Rome.
Well, define King Quad for me.
The King Quad is just the name of that model.
Yeah.
So, and it's a utility ATV. So we don't build the raced ATVs. We build the utilities like a farmer or somebody like that would use.
So this is typically the stuff that you might see somebody riding up and down next to 411, having fun, or a farmer might use.
Or a hunter.
So it's recreational, but also purposeful. Absolutely can be used for people who need it to work.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay, well, great. Let's kind of get the conversation going here. I'm kind of curious about diving in the weeds a little bit more, maybe with each of what you do. So, visiting nurse health system. So you touched on earlier, it's hospice, but also taking care of at home, so they don't have to go into. So, how does that work? Do families approach you, or do doctors coordinate with you? How does this work?
Okay, so we receive referrals from any different entities, whether it's hospital, home health agencies, other outside home health agencies, family, friends, neighbors, church members. A referral can pretty much come from anywhere within the community. So once we receive that referral in our office, there is we have a team of nurses and social workers. Nurses go out and assess to make sure that client meets a nursing home level of care. They discuss what things that person cannot do, what that person would actually need in order to stay in their homes, whether that is bathing, dressing, light housekeeping, if errands need to be ran, whether that's going to the grocery store or picking up medications. We also provide home delivered meal services for those clients. If they need an emergency response button, that press the button if you've fallen or what have you. Emergency personnel could come and assist that person with that. We also have a new program where a person who is no longer able to work, but taking care of mom and dad at home, they can be paid as a paid caregiver for that person.
Okay, well, so this is your organization. Basically, this is one of those serving others jobs. Yes. This is one of those. What's the phrase I'm looking for?
Selfless.
Yeah, but it's you're kind of called to do it.
Yes.
So what is your background?
Well, my background is I do have a degree in community health and a master's in public administration. I've actually worked in this program and started off as a social worker. And I've been working with this program in several different capacities for the past 18 years. So
go ahead.
So I started off as a social worker. So I was a social worker in the Macon area. So I was there for about 10 years before I transitioned and took on a state coordination role with this program downtown Atlanta. And then when Visiting Nurse opened an office here in Rome, they asked me to come and lead this team here.
How are you guys funded?
We're funded through Medicaid. A person has to be either receiving SSI or potentially Medicaid eligible, meaning they have to be within a certain income. And then we and Candice assist many people with them obtaining Medicaid, and they receive the Medicaid necessary to pay for our services. So
this you mentioned the Rome office. When did the Rome office open?
Rome office opened 4 years ago in July.
This is a statewide thing?
It is. It's a statewide thing. So if a person started off in our agency and happened to move to Savannah, we're able to transfer that client's case to another case management agency in Savannah.
I got you. Candice, what is your background?
Well, I'm the program assistant, and like she said, I lunch all pretty much Medicaid applications in our office.
So you're dealing with a lot of bureaucracy and paperwork.
Pretty much, yes. Me and DFACs are like best friends. Yes, yes. But and I also do the brokering, like Ms. Ward said. It's once the nurse assess them to see if they meet level of care eligibility. The nurse will assess them, and it comes back to me for me to actually find them a provider that the A can go out and assist with their needs.
Okay. Red Cross. Carla, what's your background? How did you get involved?
Oh, well, I've been with Red Cross for 6.5 years. So I started in their disaster programs. Before that, I worked in public safety. I worked in emergency management. And my degree is in public administration. So When I started in disaster services, it was in this Northwest chapter for Georgia, and then I moved into recovery. So we work with lots of caseworkers who are volunteers for us, social workers who are volunteers with us, who will work with families after they've had a disaster to try to help them find some stability and get back on their feet by connecting to community resources. So I managed that casework program for the last 3 years for the state, and then I just came back to my home chapter in February as executive director. So that's just a position where I'm overseeing all of our programs and making sure our communities are connected into each of those in this Northwest corner.
Where are you from originally?
I live in Dalton, born and raised. I live 2 miles from where I was born, so I don't venture very far.
Well, I meant to ask you ladies that. Where are you from originally?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay. And what brought you to Rome? The job or?
No, it was actually schooling, and my family is here.
Okay.
All the Spiveys are here. So.
And I'm originally from Sandersville, Georgia, which is probably about 3 hours from here, near Augusta.
Right.
After I graduated college, I moved to Macon, and then my husband works for Georgia Power, so his job moved him to Kennesaw. So I currently live in Kennesaw.
Okay. I see. Do you commute regularly, or are you able to work remotely? I mean, the world has changed so much.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a hybrid model. I can, pretty much, I'm here and then I'm at home when I need to be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was chatting with Kelly before we got started. Knowing you're born and raised local.
Correct. I'm born and raised in Somerville, Georgia, so right up the road.
Yeah, that's a suburb of Rome. Although they may say Rome is a suburb of Somerville.
Well, there's a lot of people that commute from Chattooga County up to down to Rome.
Highway 27, right through Armurchie.
That's right. That's it.
Which is my birthplace. And then what was your career path? How did you get involved with Suzuki?
So my background was with industrial management, and then I had another degree in occupational safety and health, so the OSHA degree. At the time that I hired in with Suzuki, I hired in as the safety engineer. So I was with them for about 5 years, and then I got transferred to doing sales. So I got to talk to people all over the world about ATVs, and I would take their order. And through the magic of Google Translate, I got to understand every one of them. So it was kind of nice to talk to people all over, understand different backgrounds and stuff like that. I learned a lot of stuff, and I'd get a lot of tours during that time with companies coming through. And now I'm the public relations person for Suzuki. And I thoroughly love it because I get to talk to a lot of people, and that's about it.
Well, what's interesting, this is the Chamber podcast, and most of the time, we're celebrating the local businesses, and some of them are, they're small businesses. Well, Suzuki's a global brand, but the facility here, how many people do you employ here on Technology Parkway?
We have about 130 employees, and we do hire from 2 staffing companies. They'll come in and work. When we hire somebody in, we don't just throw them to the wolves like people think. We actually put them with a team. Let them work for up to 90 days. They work with the team works with them, and we try to place them where it's best efficient for that person. Not everybody's fit to do assembly line work. Some people like to do injection mold, and that's some of the stuff that we do.
So, global brand, we're Japan-based.
Hamamatsu, Japan is our home base.
Okay, and what do they manufacture there? Motorcycles and everything?
They'll do motorcycles, scooters, other things like that.
Okay, and what other plants are there globally for Suzuki?
Suzuki is number 1 in automotive in India. So they have a plant there.
There's no Suzuki cars in the U.S.?
There used to be.
There used to be, yeah.
There's no automobiles here in the U.S. Like I said, we're the only ATV manufacturer for the world, so we're based right here in Rome, Georgia.
Yeah.
And then we also have a marine division that's in South America.
Which is outboard motors for boats.
Outboard motors, stuff like that. And it's everything from the big 300 all the way down to the little trolling motor on your John boat.
So ladies, when y'all are working, you're talking with people from Rome or Kennesaw. Are you talking to people from Japan on a daily basis, or are you kind of autonomous?
Well, because of the time frame, I'm usually emailing them. because I don't do well at working at 2:00 in the morning and talk to people.
Right.
But now I do a lot of talking with people from Europe, Great Britain, New Zealand time frame. I do with that, and a lot of South America people I talk to on a regular basis, usually about 2 or 3 times a month.
Do you speak different languages, or do you need Google Translate literally?
That's why we have the Google Translate.
Alex, how many languages do you speak?
Just English. I used to be able to count to 10 in Turkish, and knew a little bit of some dialects from my time studying abroad in Africa. But
I tell people, y'all can steal this joke. I tell people I speak 3 languages: English, Southern, and sarcasm. Y'all can steal that, okay?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that gets lost in translation, so I just found it best to just email and let that talk for them.
Just meat and potatoes.
That's correct.
Especially little cliched phrases, that you don't even think about. That really don't make any sense. They wouldn't translate. Of course, I can't think of any off the top of my head, of course, but interesting. How do you guys? Do you need to market your businesses? How do you market? Are you word of mouth? Is it social media? Are y'all in a situation where you're not really I'm speaking to the visiting nurse folks. Do you have to get the word out about your organization, or do you just does it just kind of find you?
It's kind of 2 ways.
Yeah.
We have to. We work closely with. Oh, that's right. We work closely with different service providers that provide the in-home services, and we've built working relationships with them. So they refer clients to us, and it's word of mouth as well. People may have heard about Candice Spivey here in Rome, Georgia, and want to reach out to Candice Spivey.
Well, I'm sorry. What was the name again?
Candice Spivey. Good one. But we are, we're trying our absolute best to be more community involved and getting the word out that Visiting Nurse Health System is here to assist and try to, and if we're unable to help in any way, then we're trying to find resources for them to help in any way we can.
And what is the size of your staff?
It's 9 of us.
9.
Yeah.
In this office. I have 4 nurses and 3 social workers and Candice.
So, and you came out of the social work side, you said, right?
I did, yes.
So what are those challenges like?
We have a case going on right now that I've kind of implanted myself, even though I'm not the case manager, but family was affected by COVID, and so the mom and the client's mom and brother has died in the past year. He had a W amputee going on, so he was currently in the nursing home when that happened. So the sister-in-law went and basically took him from the nursing home and brought him home with her. But they have had trouble with keeping the power on, got behind on mortgage, so keeping food in the house. So kind of haven't been able to call out because their cell phones weren't working because the cell phones are turned off. So I've been going out there, taking food to them, using my cell phone so we can set up services because everybody is still kind of on, the sidelines and don't want to go into people's homes. We are an organization that uses PPE. So we have masks, we have gowns, we have gloves. So I went out there a couple of days ago so that we can set up services with the service provider. He also needed to contact an agency because he had gotten fitted for a prosthesis, and he hasn't been able to talk with them as well. So we got it to where someone would come to his home and fit him for that prosthesis. So it's things outside of in-home services. You have to step outside of your normal role and make sure things happen.
Yeah, just sounds like things can fall through the cracks.
Oh, yes.
And y'all are there to fill in those cracks.
Yes.
Wow, good for you. I guess Red Cross, in the marketing frame, you guys are already a global brand. Do you find that you have, like, how do you promote your blood drives and make people aware of things like that?
Yeah, so we have, you're right, we're a global brand, and everyone can recognize the Red Cross just by seeing that symbol. But I think that it takes that hitting the pavement at the local level to really explain all the services that we deliver so that people have that wide range understanding of the impact that we have. But yes, we have to, we use our volunteers as networks. We use our board of directors as networks to help get the word out. We have our, of course, National Red Cross website is attached to every chapter. So we utilize the national website and advertise what we do to get word out about our blood drives. We're using social media. We have, we do things just like this to try to let folks know when we have regular blood drives, like our office at 112 John Maddox Drive, hosts a drive every single month. So you just have to go to the site. We refer everybody to the site to gain information. So redcrossblood.org tells you about every donation everywhere. You put a zip code in, you find it. And lots of preparedness programs we have, especially one in particular called Ready Rating. So readyrating.org is another site that we advertise for businesses. And you can go there to prepare your own emergency action plan for your business. It takes you through all the steps from step one to that final piece of EAP. So it's an amazing resource, and it's free to business. So yeah, our website's our main tool, I think, in getting the word out about what we do. We just have to get folks there so they understand all the resources they've got to them.
Well, it is interesting. You mentioned, you talked about the disaster program. You see that on TV when the flooding is happening or whatever. Mm-hmm. You guys show up, Right. In fact, what is the old, I'm digressing because I often do that. Alex will tell you. I digress because I'm a middle-aged man, and so sometimes I lose my train of thought. But Mr. Rogers one time, Mr. Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, or do people still remember Mr. Rogers?
Oh, yeah, we still remember.
Yes. He was a young child was troubled by seeing a disaster on TV, and his advice was, look for the helpers. Mm-hmm. You can when you see that, you also see the best of humanity. You see the helpers show up.
Yes. Yes.
And so you can take a silver lining out of whatever bad news you might be seeing, a bad news event or a natural tragedy, because there's helpers that show up. So like you and thank God for the helpers.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And we have, so 90% of our workforce are volunteers. So when you see those helpers with the Red Cross vest on, they are likely a volunteer. Right. And so to work in that atmosphere is amazing. Right. And then of course, the volunteers find that opportunity to be that helper through that opportunity. So, like, for example, Kentucky is still...
oh, sure.
It's still in the flooding devastation that they're having there. The Red Cross sent 500 volunteers to Kentucky. We had several from Northwest Georgia who went to help with feeding, with sheltering. That's really where we gear toward those large-scale disasters, is mass care. So, it's an amazing opportunity to see. I went to Louisiana in 2016 for my first deployment, and I worked in a shelter where we had about 150 people being housed. But at night, we would go back to a gymnasium in town because that's where all the staff was spending the night. And there were no hotels, of course. Everything was full. But it was cool to go back at night and just seeing everybody and where everyone was from and just feeling their spirit and their helpful attitude. It's just life-altering to be in that kind of family.
I would imagine so. Mm-hmm. Were you okay getting more than 2 miles away from Dalton, though?
Oh, I have discovered I've been on 45 deployments in my 6.5 years. Oh, wow. And a lot of those were sort of local, like larger scale fires in Atlanta that we see those every single week. But day 4, for whatever reason, is my cry day. I have to call home and debrief and just recollect myself. But yeah, day 4, when we deploy, volunteers go out for 2 weeks. So they're away from home for a little while in that sort of chaotic atmosphere of what a disaster would be. But yeah,
interesting. Mm-hmm. Well, Kelly, since you guys are manufacturing and not retail, do y'all even worry about marketing or promoting locally what you're doing at Suzuki, or does it matter because you're Suzuki?
Well, actually, of course, you see the commercials for the motorcycles, you see the commercials for ATVs and stuff, but recently our Marine Division has partnered with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so we're real excited about that. But now locally, we still actually do promote a lot in the community.
There we go. I was opening the door for you. I was wondering if you were going to take the cake.
And I walked right in.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I knew we wanted to talk about this.
So we are very proud sponsors of the Rome Braves. We've been sponsors with them for several years now, and we have a great relationship. And Katie Aspen, I've worked with her recently, and she does a tremendous job with the Rome Braves. We also are members of the Greater Rome Existing Industries Association, and I work with GRIA, and I work with Alex and Pam a lot. And really, we get together as businesses. We'll talk about certain issues in the community, because if you're more involved in your community and you take care of the issues around the community, you'll have a better community to support your businesses. And that's how we fully believe that.
Well, especially as many jobs as y'all have here, you got y'all are putting a lot of roofs over heads and meals on tables.
Yes, sir.
With the number of people you employ. Tell me more about GRIA.
GRIA, so the Greater Rome Existing Industries Association, we have about 140 members from all of our main manufacturers in Rome and Floyd County, and it's collaboration. We get together. And we do fun things. Last week we actually had a bunch of the members, and we toured Suzuki. And upcoming we'll go to the International Paper Mill here in Floyd County as well. But it's a lot of issues I think everyone is dealing with at the same time: the supply chain, getting parts in, workforce related needs. And I was actually up in Dalton yesterday. With a workforce advisory board meeting, and at another manufacturing facility, and you can't go anywhere in the state of Georgia or Northwest Georgia where everyone is not facing the same thing. Inflation's doing some stuff. Finding adequate, trained, skilled workers is a whole another component. So GRIA is just there to support and be a resource to all the manufacturers here in Rome and Floyd County, and to make sure that that plan and facility can maintain and succeed here in the community.
Yep.
If I could add one thing,
sure.
Roger, being able to talk to people all over the world, they're facing the same issues that we are. So it's not just a Northwest Georgia. It's not just a state of Georgia. It's all over.
Right. But when you talk to them, it's through Google Translate, right?
Well, sometimes.
Unless it's New Zealand or the UK where they speak English.
If they speak English, we have a pretty good working relationship with them anyway. But I've heard similar stories, not just this area.
Right.
Well, and that's why the GRIA thing, but just the chamber in general, keeps you connected to the community, keeps you connected to other businesses. And that's one of the things I enjoy about this podcast is, creating connections. Y'all already had mutual connection. Who was it, Candice?
It was Glenn Spivey. Make sure I say that again. Glenn Spivey with Suzuki.
And who is he to you?
He's my uncle.
Okay.
And I see Glenn on a daily basis, and I'm not going to give him a hard time about this at all. Trust me.
So small town connections, but anyway, that's the beauty of the chamber is and everybody here is obviously a member of the chamber. How has that helped you guys being involved with the chamber, ladies?
I think it's helped really, really good. We do a lot of events with them. And again, just to put us out there for marketing. Prior to COVID, we were door to door. I mean, a lot of doctor's office, hospitals, we were hitting them up probably weekly. So I think Chambers now, since COVID, has definitely opened us up a lot to put visiting nurse out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So being part of the chamber for us has been there's a wide variety of benefits. Things just like this helps us to connect, and I can already think of ways that we could work together with visiting nurse.
I know, yes.
You guys bring all the fun at Suzuki, so we've got to figure that out. But just making those connections locally, but then also the chamber offers so much opportunity for training. I've been to several like lunch and learns sort of trainings at the chamber. They support nonprofits in such an amazing way, just bringing us together. I attended a grant training program at the chamber, so just that internal building of our skills and connecting us to other resources that support our mission has been invaluable through the chamber.
I'm going to have to back up Carla on that. Meeting people that we didn't know in this area, aside from the marketing, we were here for probably 10 years before people started to really realize, hey, y'all build the King Quad right here in Rome and y'all are the only manufacturer. A lot of people didn't know that unless they worked there.
Right.
So with us being able to talk to other organizations in this area, it's really helped us to, solve problems, expose ourselves. So I just have to back what you said, Carla. Thank you.
And I'll add on to that, exposing young people in Rome and in the school systems, especially. And now that we have college and career academies at Floyd County and Rome City, getting those students exposed to businesses and industry and nonprofit work right here to create the future workforce for our county and city. So it all goes hand in hand with the chamber and who we partner with.
Yeah, good point. Okay, let's go around one more time here for any final thoughts in case you have neglected to mention something you wanted to mention, but also contact information, how people can connect with you, your website, social media, phone numbers, emails, whatever you want to lay out there. Ladies, we'll start with you.
Okay. Visiting Nurse Health System, our telephone number is 706-525-6053. If we can assist you with anything, if you need help with mom or dad or someone in the community that you would think that might need help in terms of them staying within their homes. We have a website. It's www.vnhs.org. And we're on all social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think we even trying to do a TikTok.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you guys TikToking like Alex?
Maybe not like Alex, but it's definitely on its way.
Are y'all on the Snapbook Face Insta chat? I sound older and older, don't I? I remember when there were only 3 TV channels and no remote controls.
And no remote. You had a knob that you had to turn.
I was our remote control.
My dad used to snap his fingers. Boy, put it on Gunsmoke. I'm sorry. Okay, Carla, were you ladies done with that?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, Carla, final thoughts and contact information?
Sure. So we people are always looking for ways that they can get involved, and we're always looking for folks that can help. So we can be reached at redcross.org, and there you can find ways to make donations. You can click on volunteer and see all of the different volunteer opportunities available in this area. And then you can call us 800 Red Cross. So super easy to get involved in what our services are.
Do you guys have enough blood locally? You say you do a monthly drive?
We do. And actually right now, there is an urgent need for blood. There is always a need for blood. So we are always feeling like behind the 8 ball to collect enough blood that is needed by the community. So yeah, right now there's an urgent appeal. And so we're scheduling as many as we can. We've got Shorter College is hosting a blood drive for us coming up, and Berry College is one that's at the end of November. So we're just anyone that's interested in hosting a blood drive, of course, we can connect them.
No pressure, but there's a lot of people on the floor at Suzuki.
That's right. That is right. We'll talk afterwards.
Just go ahead and pull your blood vessel up there, and we'll get you a line.
Okay.
No pressure, but that sounds like a blood drive waiting to happen to me.
Right.
See, look what we've done here.
Exactly.
Anything else, or you wrapped up?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, contact information for you guys, or
well, first I would just like to say it's been a pleasure meeting everybody here, and I think we've had a really good time, and this is probably a positive thing for everybody. For us, you can look at Suzuki.com, and under careers, look under Suzuki Motor. We're working to update our website. Also, like I said, you can go through To Work Staffing and North Georgia staffing as well to hire in.
So are you guys hiring now?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're looking for career-oriented people that looking for great careers. It's a good company to work for. I've worked for them for about 15 years now, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's perfect endorsement. If you're there and you're happy. Anything else?
No, sir. That's it.
All right, Alex. Any final thoughts from you at the chamber?
I just appreciate it, and there's a lot of good things happening in Rome and Floyd County, and we're going to continue to work hard. So I like to say opportunity awaits right here in Rome, Georgia. And we're almost hitting Labor Day, and school's back, and businesses are churning, and things are moving along. So a lot of good things to come, but another great week ahead.
And to connect with the chamber, RomeGA.com.
Yes, yeah. RomeGA.com. Follow us on Facebook. And
your personal TikTok page.
We do. I think we're exploring that aspect. But that's I'm not in that realm of things. It's Amber West and Carly. But no, we've got so many good things going on. Young professionals, our Leadership Rome program just the 40th class kicked off last week. So
constant ribbon cuttings and
yes,
you guys are busy.
Absolutely.
All right, well, great. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. This was a fun show. I do appreciate it. You've been listening to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We broadcast from the Hardy Realty Studios on Broad Street in downtown Rome, Georgia, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. Thank you so much for listening.